Let's get to a little bit more specifics with Klint Kubiak's offense, because I'd love to know what your guys' first impressions were. So, Rob, I'll start with you. What did you think from just this first preseason game? I know we're not going to see all the bells and whistles, obviously. Some of it's going to have to wait for week one, but what was your first impression?
Just like the way that they got the quarterback on the move and using mobility there. We've seen obviously the Sean McVay offense do a fair bit of that over time, and there's been some occasions when they've even done it against Seattle and struggled to have any answer for it. So so getting the quarterback on the move, the running game was decent. It was good. You could sort of see what they were trying to do there. They're obviously not going to give anything away in a preseason game and show their hand to all the teams they're going to face. But I think we just saw shades of the kind of offense that they're gonna have, and it was all very encouraging. I didn't really know what to expect going into that game. I didn't know what I wanted to see specifically, but once I'd watched that game twice, I knew that that's what I wanted to see. Sort of as much as we got from that game with the players, and especially that offensive line, as Brian was saying, it played well enough to feel quite positive about it. So I think it's all encouraging. And given that the defense is going to, we all assume is going to be really good, and we think it's going to be up there as health permitting, as long as everybody stays healthy, or most of the players stay healthy. If the offense can complement it and be decent, be pretty good as well, then the Seahawks will have a heck of a team this year. You said you watched a preseason game twice. Is that correct? Yeah, it's because I have no social life. I sat and watched it. So what happened was I was intending... Well, it's also like, what time was it where you were? I was intending to stay up and watch it at 3:00 in the morning. And then everything got kind of moved around with work. And then I had to go to the gym on a Thursday instead of going on a Friday. So I thought, there's no way I am getting on that Watt bike after staying up till 7:00 in the morning to watch a Seahawks preseason game. So I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to get up early and watch it before I go to the gym. So I did that, but it was a bit rushed. So in the weekend, I watched the game again. Now, in the condensed version, not the full 3-hour festival of football that we got treated to. It was the condensed version, which makes it about 40 minutes. But twice was enough, and I feel like I got enough out of that and do not feel the need to watch it again. Listen, you're putting the work for everyone who's watching this and is going to watch. So if anything, it's awesome. Brian, what did you think of Kubiak's offense from what we saw?
Yeah, like as I mentioned a little bit before, I appreciated the fact that they said they're going to be a running team and they came out and they ran the ball. I appreciated that they said they're going to be a wide zone team. They ran wide zone. I appreciated the fact that John Benton and the offensive line crew, they were noted last year in New Orleans. People commented about how impressed they were, how quickly they were able to install the offense and get guys up and going. And people remember the Saints' first 2 games last year, they were like the best offense in football. Granted, lots of things were going on in those first 2 games. But even to be a first-year coordinator in that New Orleans Saints room with basically the same coaching staff, and be able to be that productive in the first 2 games of the season, independent of opponent, is impressive. And so that's kind of what's been running through my mind as I watched that game, is like, I fully expected this to be a situation where the offense is going to drag for the first half of the year as everyone kind of gets their feet underneath them. And then they'll maybe start clicking. The same way Mike McDonald needed half a season as a really good defensive coach to get his defense going. Now I'm wondering, like, is Klint Kubiak going to actually buck the trend and maybe have a fast start? And it would be a really big deal considering the first opponent of the year is the 49ers at home. And I don't think you can put enough emphasis on how important that game is for this season.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think? Do you think they can have a fast start with this offense, or are we going to look like something similar to defense last year?
Yeah, I mean, the defense did come out hot in those first 3 games. So if they come out like that, they'd be fine. I think that I got to see the first team O-line in totality, which is unfortunate because we probably won't, because Charles Cross has this huge cast on his right hand. I really need to see them because that's what stood out. And I really only cared really about like the first team O-line, and then like watching Christian Haynes in particular with the second team unit. The first team O-line gave Drew Lock a lot of time. They were able to run a lot of their just like go-to concepts really well. You know, if Drew had so much time, there's a play I tweeted it today. He ends up throwing incomplete to Robbie O. I guess we're calling him on the show now. He throws incomplete to Robbie O, but if he just looks up, Torrey Horton is butt naked open on the right side of the field, and it's probably a 60-yard touchdown. You know, on just a really basic concept with Drake Bobo running the clear out route and then Torrey running the dig underneath. They came back to something like that later. Derek Young had a 30-yarder, and it set up Torrey Horton's first touchdown. His touchdown in the game. So I thought and that's the stuff we see here, the through route, the digs. Like we're just seeing the basic stuff work, but it works when you have time. Like you got to have time to get to a lot of that stuff. The play action has to work. You got to execute all of that properly. So I thought them just getting their basic concepts, using that to break some of the Raiders rules in coverage or Raiders defense that Brian is correct will probably not be very good. But still, you can only play who's in front of you. So I thought that was really good. I need to see Sam do it now, though. And see Sam do it against the Chiefs defense that if Andy does put his starters out there, will be better than the Raiders defense. And they will have seen some of this stuff on tape already from the Raiders game. So I hope that they can start fast. You know, watching bad offense is just awful. It's the worst thing to rewatch on tape. Like it's really bad.
Rob's in it for, you know, two times a preseason game. So just imagine what a regular season game is going to be.
Oh man, it's real brutal, man. Like Grubb owes me part of my life back for sure. Shane Waldron too, but at least Shane gave me some good times as well to watch. But Grubb for sure, like having to fly. As no, that's not a preseason thing, but having to fly to Chicago on Christmas and then watch that, and then fly home and then watch it again. I was like, oh my God, bro. I would have fired Grubb after that, to be honest. That was really, really, really bad. And the Bears team wasn't that good. Anyway,
I
I
gotta
think they
ask.
can start fast if the O-line starts fast this year.